everybody, it's Murgle, and today I'm going to go over which professions I think will make the most sales. Now, I don't know necessarily say they're going to make the most profit because, well, I mean, it's hard to decide really which professions are going to make the most gold early on. Every profession has utility this expansion. Every single one. It's like every single one except engineering. I think engineering got shafted. In terms of engineering, it's like it always has been. Engineering is really only for yourself, not big on the moneymaker. It does have some nice things in there, like the hunter thing, which allows every type of hunter to have mechanical pets. That's a useful item. I think that'll sell for a good price because it did have really high mats. But as for every other profession, it's like every profession has a really useful something, right? Something is really useful, and they're going to be able to make good money with it. Every profession makes it a different way, but every profession is going to be able to have a very decent amount of gold income. Now, the way I see it, right? The highest selling professions, based on personal experience, my highest selling profession recommendation is probably going to be tailoring, leatherworking, and blacksmithing. And the reason being is because all three of those professions are used in the beginning quests of the Obliterum Forge. You need a wrist piece from each of those professions, and I can see those wrist pieces selling like crazy. It's going to be insane how many people are buying those items really early on for really high prices, because a lot of those wrist pieces can't be made until you're 110. But people are going to want to do the quest the very first day, so I could see those wrist pieces going for 20 to 30k probably the first day, because people just want them so badly and they want to continue the Obliterum Forge quests. Now, every profession has the ability to make obliterum. So even if your profession, engineering, doesn't have anything really big sale wise, you can still obliterate stuff to make obliterum, and then the obliterum will sell most likely very well, because the obliterum allows all the gear from almost every profession to be upgraded to 850 item level. This includes pretty much everything, and I mean everything, like even the alchemist trinket can use obliterum to upgrade to 850 item level with the alchemy trinket. So it's just, obliterum is a really useful item, and I can see a lot of raiders purchasing it because they want to gear up really fast for the raids that are going to be released in like 2 weeks. And if they don't have 850 already in every slot, they're going to be purchasing tons of obliterum just to buy their way up to max gear they can get, right, so they can start raiding. And yeah, so obliterum is a multi-purpose tool for every profession that they can use to make profit, even if the sales from their items are crap. Like, let's take jewelcrafting for instance. Jewelcrafting doesn't have a lot of the neck pieces are really, the neck pieces are really fun, but other than that, they don't have a lot of stuff that they're going to sell. Gems are a good seller, but gems are also a very limited market because we don't get gem slots very often. It's really only in prismatic gear. Mind you, I did see prismatic sockets popping up a lot more in the beta, so maybe it's a lot more common than it was in WoD, but still, it's not a frequent thing enough to say that gem sales are going to be crazy high this expansion. So the neck pieces are something that they can sell, and then if they're not getting sales with their gems very well, they could even obliterate their gems, or they could obliterate, relics to sell the relics. They could obliterate their necklaces, things like that. They can always make money through obliterum if they're having a very poor time with anything else. And I don't necessarily know the price of obliterum, right? I can only guess, but based on its rarity and how much I can see it going for at least the first month, I'm going to say obliterum will probably be priced in the 4 to 5k range, because it takes, to max out your gear to 850, you'll have to pay 7 of them, along with 14 Blood of Sargeras that you have collected. You have to collect it. So I could see obliterum being worth 5k each, and then in total it'll cost you 35k to buy a maxed out piece of gear, essentially, right? You still have to have 14 Blood of Sargeras on your own because it costs 2 obliterum. I mean, 2 Blood of Sargeras to use 1 obliterum. And that's what I'm saying. So, which professions are going to make the most? All of them. Every profession has very good profit potential, some more than others. The only one that I can see having major advantages, are tailoring, leatherworking, and blacksmithing, just because those professions are using the wrist pieces plus their entire armor sets, right? People are going to buy maybe the chest piece so they can upgrade their chest piece to 850. They're going to buy the shoulder so they can upgrade their shoulder to 850. It may be a cloth shoulder, leather shoulder, mail shoulder, or plate shoulder. That's what I'm just saying. They have the highest potential because they cover all the slots. Those professions will most likely be making the most money. But then again, Inscriptionist, even in the beta, I struggled to find trinkets. And Inscription is always the trinket one, and we do have Darkmoon Faire cards again. So the Darkmoon Faire trinkets may be best in slot, like they usually are at the beginning of expansions. They're usually best in slot for quite some time. And with the changes to PvP and PvE, that could mean that maybe that trinket is also best in slot for PvP too. Because we no longer need the cooldown trinkets with the way that honor talents exist. So maybe the Darkmoon Faire trinket is now best in slot for PvP as well. I don't know. I'm not saying it will be. I'm just saying that's a possibility. And that means, boom, massive sales for Inscription. The fact is, even in the beta, I took me forever to get trinkets, so I could still see the Darkmoon Faire trinkets being crazy priced, right? That's probably going to be the highest selling item at the beginning of the highest priced. Like, it's going to be the most expensive because Darkmoon Faire cards were expensive to make. I could see each Darkmoon Faire card costing like 10k, and then the final trinkets being in the 100k range. So highest priced items, Inscription, best profit potential, tailoring, leatherworking, and blacksmithing, but overall best profession, null and void. As long as you're not engineering, every profession seems to be equally possible profit potential, as long as you're optimizing how you're destroying your stuff to obtain obliterum and so on. I mean, there's really no profession I can say, because I keep getting asked, which profession do you think is going to be the most profitable? I can't really say for one, and this is my thoughts expressed into a video. I can't really say that one profession is better than the rest. The only professions that have an advantage are the tailoring, leatherworking, and blacksmithing. But other than that, every profession is pretty cool and gets plenty of profit margin in the end. So, hope this helps. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.